and also had a nice career at a club up in had the benefit of going back to the club he grew up on and being the leader there, which has got to be a nice, kind of a charmed way to do things.
But I couldn't make it back.
Well, Connecticut winters can probably get cold. So thanks everybody for coming. We're going to take you through our Explorer 360 trip we are calling the Arizona Prospector. So it's great to have Scott here. In addition to the fact that Scott and Jeff will be the hosts when people come into town, Scott hosted the group that went, I guess it will have been 2 years. It's been 1 year ago now. 2017, last October, they went to Wisconsin and did Erin Hills, did the Bowl,
and private club. Good question. It'll come to me.
It's okay. Home of the U.S. Open was good, and I'm sure you played just like Koepka, just kind of ran the place over. But that was good. And we had a lot of success with the golf trip, so thought, hey, look, we have 4 great golf experiences here in Arizona. Wouldn't it be compelling if we found a way to bring all of our members or a select group of our members here to experience each of those in a time of year when it's perfect here, and maybe some of our Trilogy communities don't have the weather that we have here. So we are going to walk through today the 5-day, 4-night golf experience that's going to happen next April 29th through May 3rd. We've got some folks in the room here and obviously people online, so I think we've done a pretty good job of trying to answer questions in advance, but stop me anywhere along the way. Hit slow down, speed up, rewind, just raise your hand or speak up. But we'll go through everything and then come back for plenty of Q&A. Does that work? How are we doing so far? Thank you for everybody for being here. So what we've done here on this first slide is for people who are in Phoenix, this is probably somewhat intuitive. For those of you who would be visiting, to try to give you a sense of kind of where everything is on the trip we'll be taking. So we've noted Talking Stick Resort, which is the home base for the trip. If you were to look just at, down and left that at about 8 o'clock on the clock from Talking Stick Resort, right there in the middle of town is the airport. So it's about, 20 minutes, if that, from the airport to Talking Stick. Talking Stick puts you on the Loop 101, which is a really important thoroughfare here in Phoenix. It's a loop around town, gets you going to most places. In the bottom right-hand corner is Encanterra Country Club. That's one of our days, and I'll speak to that in a bit. We're here today at Verde River Golf and Social Club. It's absolutely beautiful today. We can see the practice area from here and the golf course. Scott Mattiello's home club is Trilogy Golf Club at Vistancia, which is in the top left of the screen. And then beyond that is our newest of the 4 facilities, right, would be Wickenburg Ranch Golf and Social Club, which opened in 2015 to really, really rave reviews. As we've been blessed that all of our clubs have gotten really, really high accolades as they've opened up. So I'll start at Talking Stick Resort. So it is a really beautiful hotel right along the 101. It's actually on the native land, so just adjacent. So they do have full-service gaming there, about 500 guest rooms. This list, there's a whole lot there. It's a really, really well-done, full-service resort. It's got entertainment lounges, restaurants, pools, really everything. A rooftop restaurant that kind of has views of the whole city. Like I say, full-service casino here now that you can do cards, all kinds of cards, and beautiful new guest rooms. I think this opened originally maybe 4 or 5 years ago, around there, I would think, maybe a little longer than that, probably about 4 years ago.
The proximity to Scottsdale is a big deal, too.
It is, yeah. This is to give people a sense. If people come to Scottsdale, generally they want to go to either kind of Old Town, or they'll go to, say, Kierland Commons, or they'll work their way up here towards Verde River on that Pima Road corridor. It's, 10 or 12 minutes from each of those things. Really easy, 10 or 12 minutes from each of those things. On the first day, which is a travel day for the people who would be coming into town, that is Monday, April 29th. In the evening, starting at around, I think our scheduled time about 5:30 p.m. Is that right, Teresa and Sarah? At Top Golf, which is directly adjacent to Talking Stick Resort. So literally, the backdrop of Top Golf is the casino hotel itself. So give everyone the day to travel in. 5:30 that evening, we have a couple hours of Top Golf as well as drinks and food and kind of a welcome reception to get everyone acquainted with one another. That is included with the fees we'll talk about later. The first day, we actually come up here to Verde River. Jeff, you want to talk us through the day at Verde River?
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, we'll have a great day here for you here at Verde River. The golf course on April 30th is going to just be in spectacular condition. Verde River, we are blessed with our sort of sense of place. This facility is just located in an amazing environment. Sometimes I have to stop and pinch myself looking at these views all day. You sort of take them for granted, and then you sort of have that just sort of stop in your tracks moment when you look at the views and where we are. But we'll be all set for this deal on the 30th, and can't wait to have everybody with us.
And Jeff, we'll do golf mid-morning, right? Like a 9 a.m.-ish start?
Yeah.
And then
Good morning, and yeah, we'll have some lunch on the golf course and cocktails and laughter afterwards.
Awesome. That's perfect. And then we've tried to, you'll see tomorrow's day, which will be at, the next day will be at Wickenburg, a little bit longer of a day, but we've tried to set it up where you've got a relaxing morning. You know, you're not in a big hurry trying to get out first thing, come out, have a nice lunch at the club, a little bit of downtime afterwards, and then you've got some freedom in the evening to relax, enjoy town, enjoy Talking Stick, you know, do what you like to do. These are some photos of the golf course to give people a sense and exactly what Jeff is talking about. It's really, I mean, it is right up against the mountains. It's absolutely spectacular out here. So I'll show a couple photos here, make everyone envious. It looks about like this today, right now. Our second day, and I'll play the part of Wickenburg Ranch Golf and Social Club. So there's two courses at Wickenburg Ranch. There's the original golf course, which is called Big Wick, traditional par 71 championship golf course. Really, really well done. Top 10 best new clubs in the country by Golf Magazine. Top 10 best new clubs in the country by Golf Digest. Really, really 5-star, 100% rating on Golf Advisor. This came out of, when we opened this club, it was sold out for the first 7 months it was open. We literally had not one tee time available for anyone to use. For good reason. It is a beautiful, beautiful club on a site that's just spectacular. So in the morning on the Wickenburg Ranch Day, we will play Big Wick. And then after lunch, and this is one of the shots of Big Wick, and it still looks very similar to this. This is their 14th hole kind of coming down the par 5. And the sky does get, probably tonight it'll be that gold. It was really gold like that last evening too. We are doing an afternoon round on what is called Little Wick, which Little Wick is a 9-hole, somewhere between executive course and pitch and putt. Each hole is between kind of 75 and about 145 yards. They are all wired for sound, so there are speakers on every tee box and every green. There are actually lights on 6 of the 9 holes. In the center, you see here is what's called the watering hole, is the basic bar and restaurant in the middle of the golf course. You can kind of see the action that's happening around you. And the coolest thing, so for those of you who are here, and maybe I'm out there even on the road, most clubs here are on, they change their grasses through the year, so they're on a Bermuda in the summer, and then on the greens, and then they'll go to some other blend in the winter. On both the big course at Wickenburg Ranch and on Little Wick, they are bent greens all the way around. If those are people who played on bent, that's often the tour follows bent grass because it's the truest of surfaces. They are fast and really good all year round. So to have that on this kind of on Little Wick is a cool experience. So we'll do the day there. The day there includes golf in the morning on Big Wick, lunch, afternoon golf on Little Wick, and then a post-round reception down at the watering hole. And then we head back into town. All the transportation, by the way, I failed to mention that. As we're talking about the transportation, other than from the airport, getting you to and from all the golf courses, all that transportation is included on like a luxury coach. So don't worry about driving. Our third day, which is Thursday, May 2nd, is at Encanterra Country Club, which was a Tom Lehman design, just like Verde River here. Tom Lehman design opened in late 2007. Top 10 best new private clubs in the country for the last 5 consecutive years. It's been named best private club in Arizona in its price range by Avid Golfer. Really, really well done club. At this point, you've gotten kind of a desert experience up at Verde River. You've gotten a high desert experience at Wickenburg with a lot of room to breathe. And then you go to Encanterra, and we are a traditional course-style golf course. Long story short, about 25 years ago in Arizona, there was a 90-acre turf restriction put into place for golf courses, which meant you get a lot of what you see like island tees and island greens, kind of spots of green among the desert. At Encanterra, we were able to work with the municipality down there to do a replenishment of the aquifer. So you actually end up with 140 acres of turf. It just feels big and honestly a little Midwestern, and just it's a very striking difference from what people are used to seeing here in Arizona. So a really, really great golf course. Tom Lehman designed, Bing Hugh designed the clubhouse, same architect who did the club that we're standing in here today. And again, really to Jeff's earlier point, the maintenance standards at the end of April are about as good as they can get. And then our final day is with our friend Scott Mattiello. And Scott, I'm going to make you talk into the mic here, so you might have to come over. And this is our kind of getaway day.
Yeah, we're essentially saving the best for last. But we were one of the first facilities, 5-star rated golf digest facility. Gary Pink's design, very well laid out. It's a true championship golf course. Can be reached out to 7,300 yards. We don't go there, but we have, you can play 5,600 yards, and there's 5 sets of tees to choose from. So it's a very playable golf course. You can roll the ball up, or you can get aggressive and go at the pins, but it can bite you. So it's both challenging and playable. We have some elevation changes. Eases you in on the front 9, gets a little more difficult on the back 9, a little bit longer as well. But at that time of year, we will be the greens are going to be rolling and in really good shape at that point too. So we're excited to have you. We're going to tee off same time frame. We're going to try to go off. I think it was earlier in the morning, so that we're able to get you to the airport by 4 o'clock. If you plan on staying, then you can make those arrangements yourselves. But get you a full day, shotgun start on Friday, so everyone's getting out same time. Have a little V's Tap Room, finger foods following play, and just enjoy a real good day. It's a great golf course, and we look forward to having you there.
Thank you, Scott. So yeah, and that'll be I think that the day we are at I think 9 a.m.-ish on the Verde River day. We're 9 a.m.-ish on the Encanterra day. I think maybe 10 a.m.-ish just to give us a little more transit time to Wickenburg. Then I think slightly earlier with you, right, like an 8 a.m.-ish to go on. Is that what it is? Yeah, 7:30 shotgun on the Friday. And to Scott's, what Scott mentioned earlier is those who are making flights, that allows you can get a flight as early as about 4 p.m. We'll give you plenty of buffer to come, play the golf course, have some lunch, relax, and then get on the transportation down to the airport. No worry about luggage and all those things. And I don't think we'll have any frost in May, do you? Okay, we should be clear on any frost delays. And here's some beautiful shots of Scott's golf course as well. So I'll walk through kind of the details of the package. And so we have both those who are traveling in and require accommodations, and those who are either local here or have alternate accommodations that are here in town. Keep in mind, transportation to and from the golf facilities leaves from Talking Stick each morning. So if you have another place to stay, that's great. Or if you're a local here and you want to get there, you would just get to that spot or to the golf course itself. So we are $1,475 per person, double occupancy, and that includes all the transportation, all of the golf, the lodging, and the food. I got to walk through. There's a detailed slide that walks through the food, but that's a bunch of lunches, and there's a getaway dinner, or there's a dinner on Thursday night at Encanterra. There's a bunch in there. Tea prize. It's a really, really great package for those 5 golf courses. $1,975 per person if someone wants to stay on their own in a room there at Talking Stick. Again, non-lodging package is $995 per person. Okay. There is, for those of you who would like to reserve early or get this as a holiday gift, which we certainly encourage, early bird pricing before December 31st, $1,275 per person on the double occupancy and $1,775 per person on the single occupancy. And again, on that one, it is $795 per person if you're not choosing to stay at Talking Stick. The significant other guests may come along. The event that would make the most sense to have your guests come along would be the Monday night at Topgolf, and that there's a slight additional expense for that, but they are welcome. And we are limiting right now to our 24 Trilogy members and their guests. So everyone knows how this, in case I don't know if we've ever gone kind of through the process explaining Explore 360, this is essentially like a pass-through on the preferred rates we were able to negotiate. So there is no like Blue Star or none of the clubs or Trilogy. There is no kind of profit baked into this. We basically just build the best possible package we can and pass it along. So when we see, like when you see that there's an early bird incentive, essentially we were able to get the hotel to commit to slightly better rates if we reserve slightly earlier. So so there is no margin in this, so to speak, for us. Package includes, again, this is probably the more detailed, 4 rounds of golf, 4 nights stay at Talking Stick, tee gifts, welcome reception at Topgolf, lunch all 4 days of golf, post-round receptions after golf on Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday celebration dinner at Encanterra, Friday morning breakfast, arrival party at Topgolf, including the dinner and drinks, transportation to and from, and then departing all the way back. We'll get you to the airport on Friday afternoon from the golf course or back to the hotel, one or the other, depending on where you're going. Okay, and the only things that are not included in the package, airfare. So if you're coming, obviously you're traveling into or from Scottsdale, you just need to get to Scottsdale. You need to get to Talking Stick Resort, which is a pretty inexpensive Uber or taxi ride. You've got Tuesday and Wednesday breakfasts and dinners on your own. So you'll be back. We leave in the hotel those days probably in the 7:30-ish range, I would think, in the morning, and then arriving back there, I would think kind of 4:30-ish. In the afternoon, so you'll have plenty of chance to clean up. You want to go to the casino, you want to do dinner, you'll have a chance to do that, and then obviously any other activities you'd like to do. Am I missing anything here, Sarah Rainey?
Well, actually, you are.
Well, I'm really glad I asked that question, Sarah Rainey. Okay.
So one thing that isn't included in our presentation today for our guests out of town, especially.
Thank you, Sarah Rainey.
I always think that my voice is loud enough. Sorry about that. One of the things that I would be concerned about is my husband is a golfer, but this girl doesn't golf. So for our guests that are coming from out of town, if your wife or significant other would like to come with you and not golf, there is just a double occupancy room rate and opening reception that is included that is not indicated on this slide, but it will be on the website for you, so we would encourage that. And cannot encourage you enough to be thinking about gift giving. Thanksgiving is next week. Gift giving ideas. We will be able to print you out a certificate that you would be able to wrap and put under the tree for that special gift. Thank you.
I'm very glad I asked that question of Sarah Rainey. So, and I believe, there we go. And so we were working, we had such success with our friend Jason when we went to Wisconsin that Jason's going to help kind of handle logistics along with our team here. So his information is here. All of the information you have, including, I think, soon after this video will be posted in the More Fun Stuff section in Explore 360 on MTL. And then we have a direct link where people can register. Okay, that's a lot of me, so sorry about that. I hope I went through that information reasonably quickly, and thank you, partners. Can I answer any questions for anyone? Is there a view where I can see that there? Oh, there we go. So I will open the floor to questions, comments, suggestions. Trevor and his team. I just played golf when it was 54 degrees out there, Trevor. I can tell you it's easier to get loose out here. Okay, Monartunes, Polo. Hi, Jackie. We would love to have some people come over from Polo. We have some folks in the room here. Any questions that we didn't answer? Yes, sir.
I live here, so I could opt and just drive myself to all different venues, correct?
Absolutely. So the question we got was, a gentleman lives here at Verde River. You can go anywhere. Like if you wanted to say for Encanterra, just take the shuttle. You could come down and get on the shuttle from Talking Stick for that day, because that might make sense.
And my only other thought would be about if my wife, she wouldn't go to all the venues.
Okay. We
know the venues, but she wouldn't. But she might say, okay, you're going to go play golf in Encanterra. I want to go to the spa. would she be able to use the facilities in Encanterra?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I'm glad you asked that, sir. So we do have actually, I think, at Verde, well, all of those 4 facilities have multiple restaurants, full-service spas, fitness areas. Everything is included within your reciprocal access. It's part of your Trilogy ownership already. So we would be extending member pricing through that time. And I think the only thing we would be working out on that, Sarah, just make sure we think about is seats on the, like literal seats on the bus. So we have a 40-person luxury coach reserved right now. We have 24 player spots open. We assume that we might have some spouses that come along, and we assume obviously there might be a few of us that are coming along to steward the process. So I would think that right now, unless we have new news otherwise, that spouses would be able to get on that bus unless we had, for example, all 24 people end up having spouses, in which case we'd have to like think through that. But I think presumably if we have a spouse here or there, they would be able to come along and do that.
I'm kind of seeing, at least in my case, that if I was going to go just in Encanterra and play, I would probably drive with another golfer.
Okay.
Neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
and the 2 wives would tag along. The wives wouldn't play, but they would, at Encanterra, they would probably use the spa. They'd probably go out to the pool area, have lunch, that sort of thing, and just hang out.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's,
I'm with her.
Yeah. No, I think so that what he was commenting on, it's hard to tell what kind of goes through the mic, but yes, so we will have the full facilities available to anyone who comes along. And when you enjoy, I hope people take advantage of doing that. I mean, it's really beautiful, whether they choose to go all 3 or 4 of the days, or they stay back at the resort for one of the days, or they explore around town. We're actually, so Talking Stick also has an inner Scottsdale complimentary bus. Like it's on, I guess it's a bus. It's a fancy looking, it's a trolley. It's the Scottsdale trolley that goes out of Talking Stick that takes you through Old Town, takes you through kind of where all the restaurants are, where all the art galleries are. So someone actually doesn't even need a vehicle from there. Goes through by Fashion Square, which is the big shopping. So
amenities right there at Talking Stick too, the butterfly room and the aquarium and
Oh, yeah.
on and on and on.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's plenty to do, including coming along and experiencing. Wickenburg's worth the effort. A beautiful spa up there, really, really cool clubhouse. So anyhow, are there other questions I can answer there? My friend Jackie, did you have a question there? Oh.
Sure. Can you hear me?
I can, Jackie.
Is there time for pickleball after your round of golf in any of these courses?
I love that. Okay, so by the way, you're talking to a person who is currently finishing touches on my own pickleball court at the house. So I am highly committed to pickleball. I don't know, we had not predicted pickleball questions. It doesn't seem crazy to me that we would have some pickleballing. I would have to think through that, Jackie. We have obviously pickleball facilities at every one of those communities, so that doesn't seem crazy to me.
The other question is, which is the best pickleball courts to use?
Okay, that is another very good question. Gosh, is this like picking children? The newest are at Verde. So there are four courts at Verde. Built not too far before that were the 4 courts at the Algarve at Encanterra. Is it 8? Sorry, thank you, Brent. The eight pickleball courts at the Algarve at Encanterra. And then you also have 4 courts at Vistancia. I can't remember Wick. Wick's has got it. Yeah. If you want amenities, Wick's here. So lots of those places would be good.
$24 spots total for all trilogies.
Yes. So I peeked behind the curtain here, Jackie. So good question. Our hope, look, we're really more of a function of coordinating transportation than we are golf or hotel. The hotel, we've made a reservation with them. We think we can expand those rooms. On the golf side, we have obviously control of that inventory a bit, so we can expand beyond that. So we do have room to go beyond that, and if we have demand for that, we would, and it might be nice because we feel that we probably will have, maybe a combination of couples and single players, and may want to kind of balance out the field a little bit like that. So it would just be a matter of once we get to, say, 24, then deciding, okay, are we ready to secure, say, a second bus or a larger bus? Because that's not to bore you with the kind of inside baseball of this, but that's where that's where it starts to get sticky, is making sure you have the right transportation set up. So that's going to be obviously impacted by whether we have how many we have that are local versus traveling in, et cetera. So I'm looking at the screen instead of the camera. Sorry about that. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Just one question on time at Wickenburg, since it's the furthest out, and maybe from talking stage, if they're starting really early, what time is the bus coming to leave?
It's a good question. So the question is, Wickenburg is about, I do it in about an hour, so I would think the bus is probably about an hour and 20, I would think, to get from door to door, Talking Stick Resort to the club. So one, we have restrooms on the bus, so to make that clear. And we're serving breakfast on the bus, I think, on that date. Is that right? That's right. We're doing like breakfast burritos on the bus that morning. They have moved the tee time slightly, so I think our tee times are 10 a.m. there. So I think we envisioned. So a bus leaving at about 8 o'clock that day. You do the golf, you do Little Rick. I think we will be 5:30 departure, so you're getting back 6:30 to 7-ish on that day. That is a full day. So that is the full list of the days. The remainder of the time, again, you're more traditional, just 18 holes, and the drive time is less as well.
The drive time at 8 o'clock in the morning.
That is a very apt thought. So
Going in the right direction.
we are going in the correct direction, but we will qualify for HOV. We cannot, and we will just be finger crossing to make sure there are no accidents anywhere along that little stretch there. Phoenix traffic is not really that bad, but when it's bad, it's bad. So there are a couple transit routes, but yes, we will hope for no freeway issues.
And we'll get full details on all departures and tee times out in the next day or two. We just really wanted to get this out and field some questions and make sure that we had all the right answers for you.
Yeah, I mean, the gist of it is we're going to leave kind of in the 7 to 8 o'clock hour most days and be back, I think, in the 4 to 5 o'clock hour most afternoons, other than that day, obviously at Wickenburg. Because people like free time. So we're going to try to give you some. What else? Sarah, Rainey, did I miss anything else?
I think we're in a really good spot. Thank you.
I'll just close. I mean, look, I just had the pleasure. I was on a work trip back towards Trevor's place and dropped in and played at Pinehurst with 3 guys I'd never met before. And it's a real unique opportunity that's provided by golf and really not any other sport. I never met these gentlemen when I teed off. We kind of got paired up on the first tee and we spent the day walking together, and we ended up having dinner together and sending emails the next day. And I'm not really sure that kind of experience happens where strangers turn into friends that quickly. So, I mean, everyone who's invited on this trip has certainly some common bond in the sense that you've chosen to live in similar style communities. But there's not a lot of opportunity for more friend building beyond that. Golf's just such a special sport in that way. So I've just experienced it recently, and I hope everybody who comes on this trip could have that same experience. Okay. Thank you, guys. It's awesome. Bye, Trev. Bye, Jackie.